My advice to him is as he's moving up to his upcoming fight, make sure that he focus on speed, he focus on how to improve his strength and while maintaining Crawford. Good fight. Good fight. No. Canelo has advantage because Crawford moving up, but my advice to Crawford is like maintain the speed, improve the speed, and improve the speed.
Okay, take a pic. Okay, you take a pic.
Boxing legend Manny Pacquiao recently gave a fiery interview in which he revealed everything there was to know about the much-anticipated bout between Terence "Bud" Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. With decades of expertise in middleweight and welterweight combat, Pacquiao provided a keen strategic analysis of the potential outcome of the battle and the fighter with the advantage. Pacquiao's opinions on power, quickness, ring IQ, and the psychological battle between the two top fighters are already causing a stir in the boxing world. Despite the opinions of fans and pundits being divided,
fight, let's say Terence Crawford, what weight would you want to fight at?
147.
147 still?
Yeah.
All right, well, I think you might be watching this. This is going to make a little bit of news. Why don't you go ahead and challenge him right now?
Because my natural weight is 140, so I mean I'm just moving up to 147, so it's not to getting hard to reduce.
He says he wants to fight Canelo maybe at 168 pounds. Do you imagine him beating Canelo at that weight?
I don't know. Let's wait.
Terence Crawford was warned by Manny Pacquiao about the dangers of switching weight classes to take on Canelo Alvarez. "It's fantastic for Canelo," he said plainly, drawing on his experience winning 8 division titles. He pushed Crawford to depend on exceptional speed, fluid technique, and additional strength, citing how Alvarez's size and power at 168 pounds provide him a distinct advantage. However, he cautioned that even those advantages might not be enough. To counteract the powerful strikes and physicality of an opponent who is inherently larger, he pointed out that it takes disciplined footwork, a high ring IQ, and rigorous preparation to go from Crawford's typical weight into Alvarez's undisputed super middleweight area. According to Pacquiao, Crawford has to go above and beyond his usual bounds just to compete against Alvarez. Even yet, the weight cliff remains a menacing threat. In the end, Pacquiao made it quite evident that rising in the ranks is no little gamble. Unquestionably, this game is one of Crawford's toughest trials and might change his legacy.
It's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
I asked this because you did it with Margarito. You went to 54 and people were like, oh my God, this guy's so big, Margarito. But your speed made the difference in that fight. Well, what advice would you give a smaller guy like Crawford to fight someone like Canelo who's a lot bigger and stronger?
You know, preparing like that opponents, like is not only the speed, but you know the techniques that you can use in the fight. Like make sure that in your daily routine, training routine, like that, make sure that all the techniques, strategy, combination, like you know, it's accurate to your opponent's style. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you have a exam, a math exam tomorrow, you have to review right now a math subject. You don't need to review English subject or a science subject. You have to review math subject because tomorrow you're going to have a exam. You're going to exam a math subject. That's
a hard exam.
The epic showdown is scheduled to take place in Las Vegas on September 13th, 2025. In order to battle Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed super middleweight title, Crawford is moving up to weight classes. The fight, which will be streamed live on Netflix, will combine the WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, The Ring, and TBRB crowns. Currently 41-0 with 31 knockouts, Crawford is poised to become the first male fighter in the four-belt era to hold undisputed titles in 3 different weight classes. He has already defeated top opponents like Israel Madrimov and Errol Spence Jr.
You've accepted this fight now, but in the previous years you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like, yes man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Masvidal.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
With a professional record of 63 victories, 2 defeats, 2 draws, and 39 knockouts, Canelo Alvarez is a formidable force in the super middleweight class. Among his many honors are titles in the super middleweight junior, middleweight, and light heavyweight weight classifications. Notably, Alvarez defeated Caleb Plant in 2021 to become the first undisputed super middleweight champion.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're gonna knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time, the power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
I'll say he is the hardest, for sure. One of the fighters that hit very hard was Angulo. You know, he's a Cuban guy, and he punched very hard too. So I'll say both of them are like the same, but you know, with Canelo, I was just mentally ready for his shots. You know, I already told myself, I know I'm gonna get hit. I know I'm gonna get hit on my chin, but it's, you know, I gotta bite down on my mouthpiece and push. You know, look what happened in the 3rd round. I got hit with a left hook. We be practicing in camp the whole time, you know, keeping my right hand to my chin, and I wound up just moving, and he connected right on my chin. And you see how I punched my glove, you know, that's like a thing for me when my last time when I got dropped, I was punching my gloves, 'cause I'm like, damn, I got hit with a shot. I'm not supposed to be on the floor. But, you know, it comes to boxing, you know, the greats done got dropped, you know, got hurt. But it's about how you come back and
Legendary boxer Juan Manuel Marquez publicly voiced his strong disapproval of Crawford's choice to battle Canelo Alvarez is a super middleweight by jumping to weight classes. He cautioned that the physical difference might be too great. Even as he praised Crawford's genius across 4 divisions, he questioned if increasing mass would affect Crawford's fluidity, pointing to his decreased quickness and limited power at 154 pounds. Marquez thinks Alvarez's natural 168-pound stature will prevail unless he makes abrupt strength gains. Marquez maintains that weight distinctions are in place for a purpose. Despite his admiration for Crawford's defensive prowess and accurate shot combinations, he views this fight as a reckless departure from good boxing principles.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right. Weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for And Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimo.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and 3 more divisions. 2 more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination of punches, but I think the weight class is no good for him.
According to boxing great Roy Jones Jr., Canelo's fighting style will determine the outcome of the fight, not Crawford's weight increase. He told the Ring magazine back in February that Crawford will take advantage of Alvarez if he fights poorly, but if he does what he should, he would win. Jones underlined that in order to exert pressure on Alvarez, Crawford had to dominate the middle of the ring. Jones reiterated in June that weight is irrelevant. Whether Crawford is able to absorb Canelo's power is what matters. Weight doesn't really matter when you're as good as Bud, Jones remarked. If you run from a big man, you give him all the confidence, he said, cautioning Crawford against making this into a foot sprint. That is foolish. Jones views this fight as essentially a contest of wits, a sophisticated cerebral conflict in which the winner is determined by timing, accuracy, tactical discipline, and dominance of the center of the ring. It is as much mental boxing as physical boxing.
I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is gonna always follow him.
Terence is not taking a fight in between. He's like, I'm going to move up to 168. I'm gonna take my time with that. Should we expect an upset, or are we going to see what most people are expecting in that fight if it does happen?
Well, we're not going to see what most people are expecting. That's for sure. I can guarantee that, because most people looking at the weights and saying, oh, they're too far apart, Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very interesting. If it's played wrong by either side, the other side will dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Let's say if Canelo wins, do you think people give Canelo credit because Bud is smaller? And if Bud wins, should he just retire and go on the sunset?
Bud definitely should retire if he wins. Canelo, no, you have unfinished business, bro. You can try to hide, you can try to run, but that monster thing, it ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. Even if you retire the rest of your career, the monster thing is not going anywhere, because the monster was searching for you. He beat everything y'all sent at him in the process of trying to get to you. I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is gonna always follow him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was a time where he was saying, Benavidez was saying, you know what, I gotta earn that Canelo shot. He earned that shot a long time ago.
Jim Lampley favors Canelo Alvarez in this big fight, but he often stresses that Terence Crawford is a talented boxer who should not be taken lightly. From early defeats to Floyd Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol, to his current status as one of boxing's most potent counterpunchers, with enhanced defensive timing and strengthened core. Strength derived from non-traditional training methods like horseback riding. Lampley highlights Canelo's development over the years. He admires Crawford's resume and likens his versatility and offensive defensive ability to a contemporary Sugar Ray Robinson, pointing out that Crawford can change positions and adopt a brutal mentality when necessary.
Crawford is going to fight Canelo because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
With incisive and straightforward framing, Lampley dissected the size versus skill conflict between Terence and Canelo on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Lampley maintained that Crawford can only overcome Alvarez's obvious size and strength advantage by boxing a near-perfect fight, which entails switching between southpaw and orthodox with ease, taking advantage of angles, managing speed, and never losing.
Strength and conditioning. There's very few fighters that just train using skill, just train skills. Like George St. Pierre did that for a certain period of his career.
I wonder if there's anybody left in boxing who trains just using the gym skills. There were a lot of them when I was first involved in the sport who would never have touched a weight.
Right.
You know, they
they
subscribed totally to the notion that that was negative.
Right. And the worst case, I mean, they definitely did calisthenics, but that was it. It was just body weight exercises, you know, which brings us to Crawford, which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Fascinating. Because how does Crawford compete with that size? And, you know, we have to recognize, okay, well, when Canelo fought Floyd, it was 152 pounds, right? So he had dropped down, which was a struggle for him, which is why Floyd was so brilliant in getting him to go down to 152, because he knew he would be drained.
52.
Popular boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult has also commented on the battle, saying that although Crawford is incredibly gifted, he would need to triple his experience to defeat a fighter like Canelo. This perspective demonstrates the disparity in the opponents Canelo has encountered and the extreme intensity of the bouts he has participated in at greater weights, a level of experience Crawford has not yet experienced.
If he were to accomplish that and beat Canelo Alvarez, become 3-time undisputed, is that top 10 greatest fighter to ever live? Like, that is incredible. Like, I don't think it's not like just becoming 3-time undisputed. You did that on your way. You beat destroyed Errol Spence, and then if you were to beat Canelo Alvarez, that is, brother, please. Does Crawford put up a better fight against Canelo than Charles?
Hold on.
I'm saying coming from one, that is shameful.
No, just go to Super Chat. Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford?
Yeah. Got Canelo. Spaceman, that's my guy, though, man. That's the one I'm going on.
I ain't doing this friendly. It's my show, damn it.
You're right.
I mean, me and show. Still
brother, I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. And
you was back further than me.
Yeah.
I wasn't back that far, but you was back
Boom.
further.
Damn, how far was you? He's all the way up there?
Yeah, I was in the nosebleed. I was like,
nah, you get money.
But I'm
he was comfy, bro. He was comfy.
But I'm saying, I don't know. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches.
That's the only thing I worry about.
So how can you, a man coming from 147, I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did last.
Andre Ward, however, remains adamant that Canelo cannot overcome Crawford. Ward says he would bet the house on Crawford winning Canelo while he is standing in his corner. Crawford's passion and battle IQ are unrivaled, according to Ward, who admitted the size disadvantage despite the enormous weight rise to 168 pounds. At this time, I'm not placing any bets against Terence Crawford. The ability to subdue Terence Crawford's will must be demonstrated by someone. Crawford's skill set and mental tenacity give Ward confidence because he thinks they can counter strength.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Crawford calls the Canelo fight the most important chance of his career and believes it will be the biggest boxing match in 20 years. Me and Canelo are absolutely making this event as enormous as possible, given the work we've put into the sport, Crawford said, acknowledging Canelo as the face of boxing. He is adamant that, despite the fact that he will be the first undisputed 3-division champion in the 4-belt era, the move up to 168 pounds is about legacy rather than money. Crawford is determined to prove himself on this prestigious stage, highlighting his desire to become one of the greatest boxers of all time.
With Terence Crawford, what do you make of Canelo versus Skull?
Canelo did what he had to do to get the victory.
What do you want next? It seems like that's going to be the fight. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, the biggest fight in boxing.
Well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terence Crawford out there. He's the biggest fight for Terence Crawford out there, so that's why Terence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
How do you beat him?
You'll see. Come 12.
Everyone's talking about the weight differences. What's your kind of response to that, Terence?
That's why we fight the fight. So September 12th, we all going to see if the weight going to make a difference or not.
Do you want to fight him twice and then retire? Is that kind of the ideal thing for you?
One fight at a time, one fight at a time.
What did you make of, I know you didn't say much on tonight, the effectiveness of William Skull? He came to go to decision as opposed to win the fight. Would you agree with that?
I don't know. He was boxing well, and then he just stopped doing what he was doing earlier. I don't know. I can't call it.
Do you think Canelo slipped as a fighter?
No, I don't. I just think that, you know, William was doing a good job neutralizing Canelo power punches. He was just moving a lot.
Do you think that's a style you have to employ in points of the fight?
I don't know, because if you watch the styles that beat him, they didn't move.
Crawford brought up the possibility of a fight with Manny Pacquiao in recent interviews. He recalls how a convincing victory against Pacquiao's sparring partner Diri Jean in 2015 appeared to set him up for a fight weighing 140 pounds. But he claims that Pacquiao disappeared following that performance. Crawford thinks his victory demonstrated his status as a top talent and might have scared Pacquiao into withdrawing. Crawford emphasizes that his individual exploits are self-contained, even though he recognizes Pacquiao's record accomplishments. In 8 divisions, his attention is still on the problems of the present.
Manny Pacquiao, top 5.
You don't?
Why he's not up there. You should know that reason.
It's your interview.
Man, Manny's a generational, talented fighter. Like, he's accomplished what no other fighter is ever going to accomplish. Again, you know, but I don't feel like, you know, he did it on his own. That's me personally, because for the simple fact, when Floyd made it a point for him to do the blood test, he didn't want to do the blood test. But then when he did do the blood test, he haven't got a knockout since.
Will Canelo's stature and strength be offset by Crawford's speed and boxing acumen, or will Alvarez's background win out? Tell us in the comments section below.